Hey guys, hope everything is well. Sorry for taking a little bit longer than usual on the last upload. I've been focusing a lot on the current game I'm working on and had to take time to plan and scale this. What I want to talk about today is one of the more difficult topics around game dev that I usually deal with and I think others struggle with as well. This video is more of a devlog in the sense of me learning such an important lesson I've learned from older games I've worked on compared to what I'm working on now. In many of my videos, I've always mentioned and talked about why I didn't publish the old projects I've worked on. Like I said previously, from the beginning of each of these developments, I've always thought that at the end of these developments, I would be able to publish these games and that they would look fantastic, but it didn't. At the end of these games, they didn't look that good and looked more like a school project. Don't get me wrong, these games I've learned so much from in terms of coding and committing to something from start to finish, but it wasn't something commercial grade that looks to be made by a professional. That is the main problem I've had in my games, and I'm currently studying how to solve this flaw while working on my current game. So I decided to take a small little break and think about this for a second. One of the first things I did was look into the absolute basics of what it is I want to do, which is learning about game feel and game polish. So let's start with game polish. The definition of game polish is the following. In the context of gaming, polish refers to the final touches and improvements made to a game to enhance its quality and user experience. This comes from game developer website. This made me think about this concept and why my games couldn't achieve this at the end, and it's because even with those little tweaks I've added near the end, the game didn't feel right. Game polish is generally done after you work on the feeling of the game and the player experience while doing any action. So I went back and I did more research and it led me to find out about game feel, which in definition is, game feel is the moment-to-moment tactile sensation of playing your game. The feeling that your players get even when walking around and doing basic actions like jumping or hitting is essentially where all of my previous games failed. They just overall didn't feel satisfying. While doing research for this, I found a video from someone named Design Diary which covered ways to improve game feel. Shout out to him for uploading this video as it helped me massively for my game and for getting great insights about game feel and polishing in general. A link to his video will be in the description as well. In this video, he talked about ways for indie game developers to improve game feel across the development of mechanics and many different assets. He goes over stuff such as movement, bullet spread, particle effects and lighting, and even little things such as the squash and stretch when the player jumps up, adding that fine little detail to make things feel even more alive. A demo is talked about in this video and links will be given to you to try out the demo yourself. When I tried out the game demo myself, it was such a good learning experience going over these concepts mentioned here and stuff applicable to my current project. One of the things I've absolutely loved is the fact that I can take the game demo here and strip it of everything it has and then basically add stuff slowly, and in that process you will see how adding these small little details over time, one by one, improves the overall game feel. I'm gonna go over an example here. Here's the game with none of the triggers set online. It's basically just a square that shoots out bullets from the weapon. Over time, you will see that I'm adding these small little details here. One of the favorites that I've implemented is the randomized bullets. These makes the bullets feel much more natural when shooting, adding to the overall experience, and even though it's such a small little detail, it adds so much to the shooting feel already. Next, I add the bullet trail. This makes the bullets appear much more visually pleasing and it makes it satisfying for when the player shoots. This adds even more life to the bullets now. It's basically the small details that count here. And although one of them alone is not enough, if you get enough of these parts together, they start to form something really great and adds quality to the overall game. The last two examples I'm going to show you here is when we add the bullet impact effects and the bullet impact dust effects. These things here basically make the bullets feel much more interactive with the environment here, making things feel much more alive and improving the overall feel. It makes the shooting feel much more alive in general. This is something I'm going to work on for my current project, and honestly really excited to see these improvements and how they'll enhance this overall game. It's going to be a bit until that video comes up, but please look forward to that video. So yeah, that was what I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys found some insights and hopefully have helped you around the topics of game feel and game polish in some ways. Please look forward to the next video and I'll keep you updated.